Hello.
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Zach, and welcome to class. For today's topic is Internet and Social Media for General English B1+.
მოგესალმებით. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება ჩვენს ტელესკოლაში. მე სოფო ვარ, ეს კი ზაკია. დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილის თემა იქნება ინტერნეტი და სოციალური მედია. თქვენ უყურებთ ზოგად ინგლისურს დონე B1+.
So for today's agenda, of course, like always, we will have the vocabulary and then move right along to reading comprehension. And right in the middle, we have the grammar. And lastly, we have the summary and our favorite part, homework.
ვიდრე უშუალოდ გაკვეთილზე გადავიდოდეთ, მოდით ერთად გადავხედოთ დღევანდელი დღის განრიგს. ჩვენი გაკვეთილი დაიწყება ლექსიკის შესწავლით, ამის შემდეგ გვექნება წაკითხულის გააზრება, ამას მოჰყვება გრამატიკული სავარჯიშოები, შემდეგ ერთად შევაჯამებთ დღევანდელ გაკვეთილს და გადავალთ საშინაო დავალებაზე. Shall we start, Zach?
Let's do it.
So, as we said, today's topic is internet and the social media. Do you use any social networks, Zach? And why or why not?
Oh, of course I do. I must, because it's a good way to keep in contact with people.
Definitely.
And also just to see what other people are up to and all your friends, especially if you live in a different part of the world like I do.
Definitely, yeah, true.
How about you?
Yeah, of course, like everyone else, I also use certain applications like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I like very much, and TikTok is quite popular now, isn't it? So what do you think, why social networks are so popular?
I think just the connection with other people, because especially now during coronavirus times, it's hard to see people and meet new people, so it's good to keep in contact with as many people that you know as possible.
Yeah, definitely, that's one reason, and another reason is probably, as you said earlier, if you live in another city, that's probably the most convenient way to get in touch with people, right?
Of course, yeah. And what do you think? Do you notice any differences between the old and younger people on social media?
Oh, definitely. I think they use social media a little bit differently. Like, for example, my parents' generation, they use it only to talk to their friends, I think so. And younger generation, they also use it to, I don't know, retrieve information and spread information at the same time. But in general, I think both generations use social media for one and the same purpose, to get in touch.
I think you're totally right. Now let's move on to the vocabulary section where we have here a new set of vocabulary words.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის ნაწილზე, სადაც თქვენს წინაშე წარმოდგენილი იქნება ახალი სიტყვები.
So, the first word is to promote, which is a verb, and to promote means to try to show off something or advertise something for you or someone else.
To promote in Georgian means ხელის შეწყობა. To promote, ხელის შეწყობა. To promote, ხელის შეწყობა. To promote, ხელის შეწყობა.
And next, we have follower, which is a noun. And a follower is someone who follows a certain page, like on Facebook, or follows someone, or follows one of your friends.
Yeah, so for example, some people are counting how many followers they have on a social network, right?
Yeah, totally.
Follower in Georgian means მიმდევარი. Follower, მიმდევარი. Follower, მიმდევარი. Follower, მიმდევარი.
And next, we have trend, which is a noun, and a trend is something that is popular, that is common everywhere, and is happening over and over again.
Trend is a noun, but trendy is an adjective. Trend in Georgian means tendencia. Trend, tendencia, trend, tendencia, trend, tendencia.
And next, we have troll, which is a noun, and a troll is someone who insults and annoys other people on the internet just to be mean or annoying.
And troll in Georgian sounds exactly the same like in English. Trolli, troll, trolli, troll, trolli, troll, trolli.
And next we have newsfeed, which is a noun, and your newsfeed is all of the news or posts like on Facebook or Instagram that shows you what you or your friends or other people are doing.
And posting.
And posting.
Newsfeed is in Georgian means სიახლეების ველი. Newsfeed, სიახლეების ველი. Newsfeed, სიახლეების ველი. Newsfeed, სიახლეების ველი.
And next, we have to handle, which is a verb, and to handle means to manage something or to take care of something.
To handle in Georgian means movla an mopqroba. Handle, movla an mopqroba. To handle, movla an mopqroba. To handle, movla an mopqroba.
Now let's move on to our vocabulary activity and match the words with their descriptions.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის სავარჯიშოზე. ამ სავარჯიშოში წარმოდგენილია სიტყვები და მათი განმარტებები. ჩვენ ერთად უნდა შევუსაბამოთ მოცემულ სიტყვებს, მოცემული განმარტებები. Let's start.
Let's do it. So the first one, Sophie, someone who receives the posts that another person sends using the online social networking service. What could that be?
So I think that we said when we were explaining the vocabulary that people who follow each other usually receive the post that another person posts or sends. So therefore, I think this one should be follower.
I think you're totally right. And next, we have a gradual change or development that produces a particular result.
So I think in this case, it's the word trend, because trend shows a gradual change or development that produces a particular result. Some of the things are very trendy on the internet. For example, how people dress, that's definitely a trend. How people speak even, that can be also a trend, and so on and so forth. So the right answer is trend. Now, someone who writes negative and hostile comments on a website in order to provoke people. What do you think, Zach?
Ooh, I know, I hate these people too. They're trolls.
Definitely true. Troll is the right answer. And the next one, to support or encourage something.
Ooh, I know, like an advertisement as well.
Yes,
so it should
true.
be to promote.
Definitely true. Promote, which is a verb, and the noun for promote will be promotion. Yes?
Yep. And next, a web page or screen that updates often to show the latest news or information.
I think everyone uses this word nowadays. It's called newsfeed. A newsfeed is something that a lot of people refresh to see news coming up all the time. So the right answer is newsfeed.
Great. And then lastly, to take action in order to deal with a difficult situation.
Well, this one is quite easy, as it is the last one, and you already see the word. It's handle. And handle means to take action in order to deal with a difficult situation.
Now we have our new set of vocabulary words.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის მეორე ნაწილზე.
So first we have charity, which is a noun. And charity is when you give something to someone or an organization or a company or something like that, like money or gifts to help other people.
Very true. Charity in Georgian means ქველმოქმედება. Charity, ქველმოქმედება. Charity, ქველმოქმედება. Charity, ქველმოქმედება.
And next we have to rely on, which is a phrasal verb. And to rely on means to trust someone in helping you, or you could always ask them for help and they will do something for you.
To rely on is a phrasal verb, and in Georgian it means ვინმეზე ან რამეზე დამოკიდებულება. To rely on, ვინმეზე ან რამეზე დამოკიდებულება. To rely on, ვინმეზე ან რამეზე დამოკიდებულება. To rely on, ვინმეზე ან რამეზე დამოკიდებულება.
And next we have local, which is an adjective, and local means that something is like in your area or your country. It's not international or not in many places, like a local store or a local company.
Local in Georgian means ადგილობრივი. Local, ადგილობრივი. Local, ადგილობრივი. Local, ადგილობრივი.
And next we have to interact, which is a verb. And to interact is to do something or handle something, like to interact with a computer or with a website or with something else.
To interact in Georgian means ვინმესთან ურთიერთობის დამყარება. As you see, to interact is a verb and the noun for it will be interaction. To interact, ვინმესთან ურთიერთობის დამყარება. To interact, ვინმესთან ურთიერთობის დამყარება. To interact, ვინმესთან ურთიერთობის დამყარება.
And next we have to report, which is a verb, and to report is to make a little essay or a list about something that maybe you have problems or that you need to discuss with someone or something.
To report in Georgian means ინფორმაციის მიწოდება. To report ინფორმაციის მიწოდება. To report ინფორმაციის მიწოდება.
To report
ინფორმაციის მიწოდება.
And next we have clickbait, which is a noun, and clickbait is something like a pop-up that comes up and makes you want to click something, or a very popular news article that has a very interesting title that makes you want to go to it.
Clickbait is a noun, and in Georgian it means ბმული მომხმარებლის მოსაზიდად. Clickbait ბმული მომხმარებლის მოსაზიდად. Clickbait ბმული მომხმარებლის მოსაზიდად. Clickbait ბმული მომხმარებლის მოსაზიდად.
And next we have personal, which is an adjective, and something can be personal like your own personal items that you have, or maybe your personal Facebook page, or your personal computer, or something like that.
And the antonym of it will be impersonal.
Exactly.
Right? So personal in Georgian means პირადი. Personal, პირადი, personal, პირადი, personal, პირადი.
And lastly, we have viral, which is an adjective. And viral is something that has become very, very popular on the internet, like a viral video or a viral news article or something like that.
Viral in Georgian means სწრაფად და ფართოდ გავრცელებული. Viral, სწრაფად და ფართოდ გავრცელებული. Viral, სწრაფად და ფართოდ გავრცელებული. Viral, სწრაფად და ფართოდ გავრცელებული.
Now let's move on to the reading comprehension section.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ წაკითხულის გააზრებაზე, and we have a question for you. So Zach, how many social media applications do you know?
Oh, I know Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, and there's LinkedIn.
Very
and
true.
like what you said before, and are there any other ones that I can think of?
Well, you mentioned TikTok, right?
Oh,
Yes.
TikTok, yeah.
Yes, I think that's it. We mentioned the biggest ones, basically.
Yes.
Okay, and we have a text now about people who use social media. I work for a medical charity called Healthy Hearts, and we really rely on social media. To promote an event, we usually post an ad and then people share it. We always ask our followers to use the hashtag Healthy Hearts so that we can get more attention and maybe even trend in our local region. If people need more information about the event, they can DM us. We try to respond as quickly as possible.
So for Jeff, I once interacted with Chelsea Clinton on Twitter. After listening to a speech that she gave at my university, I wrote a tweet saying how much I had enjoyed it. I included her handle in the tweet, and much to my surprise, she retweeted me. It was amazing. My tweet got hundreds of likes, and it started a really long thread of comments where other users gave their opinions on the speech.
And for Maya now, I remember when Facebook first began. It seemed more personal. I didn't friend many people, just close contacts. When I used to log in, my newsfeed was full of cool photos and funny status updates from my friends and family. These days, social media is very different. It's full of celebrities and the brands who want you to follow their pages. They're constantly posting clickbait, hoping that their videos or photos will get millions of likes and go viral. I feel like social media has lost its personal touch.
And Phil, I'm a hairdresser, and I use Instagram to promote my work. About a year ago, I got a new follower called Simon, and he started trolling me. He kept posting photos of dogs with funny hairstyles and then tagged me in the photos. It was so cruel, I had to block him and report him to the site administrator. Now let's move on to the reading activity and answer the given questions.
ახლა კი მოდით შევამოწმოთ, რამდენად კარგად გავიგეთ ტექსტი. თქვენ წინაშე მოცემულია კითხვები, რომლებსაც ერთად უნდა უპასუხოთ ტექსტზე დაყრდნობით. Let's start?
Yes. So Sophie, why does Donna want people to write hashtag healthy hearts on their social media.
So as we read in the text, she wants her charity events to get as much publicity as possible, and this is why she's asking people to write hashtag healthy hearts more.
Awesome. And then next, in Maya's opinion, what is the main way that social media has changed?
So as we read in the text, she feels that years ago social media was more personalized and a good way to interact with the people. However, nowadays she finds it very commercial and anonymous at the same time.
And then what happened to Jeff after he mentioned Chelsea Clinton on Twitter?
So again, in the text it was stated that after Jeff's initial tweet, Chelsea Clinton shared it on Twitter. This meant that Jeff's tweet was seen by lots of people, and some of whom gave online reactions to it, and it became popular.
Yeah. And then how did Phil solve his problem with Simon?
So it was because it was a disrespectful behavior. Phil instructed the website not to allow Simon to write any more messages to him, and Phil also contacted the website to inform them that Simon had broken their rules.
Now let's move on to our grammar section where we will discuss passive voice.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის ნაწილზე, სადაც განვიხილავთ ვნებით გვარს.
We form the passive with the verb to be and the past participle of the main verb.
იმისათვის, რომ ვაწარმოოთ ვნებითი გვარი, საჭიროა ყოფნას ვნას დაუმატოთ მთავარი ზმნის მესამე ფორმა.
The passive is used when the person who carries out the action is unknown, unimportant, or obvious from the context. For example, BMW cars are made in Germany.
ვნებით გვარს ვიყენებთ მაშინ, როცა მოქმედი პირი არ არის ცნობილი, არ არის მნიშვნელოვანი, ან მისი ვინაობა ცხადია კონტექსტიდან გამომდინარე. მაგალითად, BMW cars are made in Germany.
The passive is used when the action itself is more important than the person who carries it out, as in news headlines, newspaper articles, formal notices, instructions, advertisements, etc. For example, 3 people are injured in a car crash.
ვნებითი გვარი ასევე გამოიყენება, როცა თავად მოქმედება უფრო მნიშვნელოვანია, ვიდრე მოქმედი პირი. მაგალითად, ახალი ამბების headline-ებში, სტატიებში, ფორმალურ განცხადებებში, ინსტრუქციებში, რეკლამებში და ასე შემდეგ. მაგალითად, 3 people are injured in a car crash.
The passive is used when we want to make statements more polite. For example, my new car is ruined. More polite than you ruined my car.
ვნებითი გვარი გამოიყენება, როდესაც გვინდა წინადადება ვაქციოთ უფრო ზრდილობიანად. მაგალითად, my new car is ruined. ეს წინადადება ჟღერს უფრო ზრდილობიანად, ვიდრე you ruined my car.
The passive is used more often in written English than in spoken English. For example, this research was carried out on the language of dolphins.
ვნებითი გვარი გამოიყენება წერილობით ინგლისურში უფრო მეტად, ვიდრე სალაპარაკო ინგლისურში. მაგალითად, the research was carried out on the language of dolphins.
To form passive form of the present simple tense, we need to use am is are plus past participle. For example, my car is serviced once per year.
იმისათვის, რომ ვაწარმოოთ აწმყო მარტივი დროის ვნებითი გვარი, საჭიროა გამოვიყენოთ am, is, are-ს დამატებული მთავარი ზმნის მესამე ფორმა. მაგალითად, my car is serviced once per year.
To form passive form of the past simple tense, we need to use was, were plus past participle. For example, my car was serviced once per year.
იმისათვის, რომ ვაწარმოოთ წარსული დროის ვნებითი გვარი, საჭიროა was, were-ს დავუმატოთ მთავარი ზმნის მესამე ფორმა. მაგალითად, my car was serviced once per year.
To form passive form of the present perfect simple, we need to use have his plus been plus past participle. For example, my car hasn't been repaired yet.
იმისათვის, რომ ვაწარმოოთ აწმყო სრული დროის ვნებითი გვარი, საჭიროა have, an, has დავუმატოთ been და დავუმატოთ მთავარი ზმნის მესამე ფორმა. მაგალითად, my car hasn't been repaired yet.
Now, let's move on to our grammar activity and rewrite the sentences in passive voice.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის დავალებაზე. ამ დავალებაში ჩვენ უნდა გადავაქციოთ მოცემული წინადადება ვნებითი გვარის წინადადებებად.
So, Sophie, they draw a picture. What is the passive voice for this one?
So, when we look at the active sentence, we need to determine the main verb and the tense into which the main verb is given. In this situation, we see they draw. Draw is the verb, and the draw is given in present simple. Therefore, the verb to be in the passive voice will be given in present simple, and then the past participle of the main verb will be added to it. Thus, we will have picture is drawn by them. Is the verb to be in present simple, and drawn is the past participle of the main verb draw.
Wow, very good. And then, he has just made the decision.
Again, the same rule applies. The main verb has made is in present perfect, and therefore we need to use verb to be in the passive voice into the present perfect tense. And therefore we will have the decision has just been plus past participle of the main verb made. The decision has just been made.
Then the policeman helped kids.
In this case, we will have again, the main verb, which is help, as you can see, it ends with ed, which means that it is given in past simple. Therefore, in the passive sentence, we need to put the verb to be into the past simple tense, which means that we will have were in this case, because kids is plural. Kids were plus past participle of the main verb helped by the policeman. Kids were helped by the policeman. Remember that when we start the passive voice sentence, it needs to start with the object, kids, not the subject.
Mother waters the flowers.
In this case, waters is the main verb. Again, waters is given in present simple, therefore the verb to be will be transformed into a present simple as well, and we will have the flowers are plus past participle, the third form of the main verb, watered by mother.
Awesome explanations.
Thank you so much.
So now let's move on to one of our last sections, the summary.
ახლა კი მოდით ერთად შევაჯამოთ დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილი.
So first off, of course, we went through 2 sets of vocabulary. Then we moved right along to reading about internet and social media. And then lastly, we had the grammar about passive voice.
დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილი დაიწყო ლექსიკის შესწავლით, ამის შემდეგ ჩვენ წავიკითხეთ ტექსტი სოციალური მედიის შესახებ, შემდეგ ვისაუბრეთ ვნებით გვარზე, ახლა კი დროა გადავიდეთ საშინაო დავალებაზე.
And now the very last thing is our homework, the best part. And for your homework, please write a short paragraph about the social media you use.
საშინაო დავალებად გთხოვთ დაწერეთ მოკლე პარაგრაფი სოციალური ქსელის შესახებ, რომელსაც იყენებთ.
And please send your homework to the address on the screen.
გთხოვთ გამოგვიგზავნეთ თქვენი დავალება ეკრანზე მითითებულ მისამართზე.
And like usual, we will have an example for you on the website, so you could see how to do it.
ვებგვერდზე ასევე დაგხვდებათ დავალების ნიმუში, რომელიც შეგიძლიათ გამოიყენოთ. And now, I think it's time to end our lesson.
I think so too. I think we shall.
Yes, and we will see our lovely audience next week, right?
Of course
Zach?
we will.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.